Welcome to On Top of PR with Jason Mudd.
Hi, and welcome to On Top of PR. I'm your host, Jason Mudd, and today we're diving into a powerful shift happening right now and how people discover your brand. Here's the headline. 96% of artificial intelligence generated citations come from PR content. Let me explain. When tools like ChatGPT, Google, Perplexity generate answers, almost all of the sources they cite are rooted in public relations content. So if your brand isn't prioritizing PR-driven content, you're invisible in the AI discovery. This isn't speculation. This comes from a comprehensive study done by Muckrak's Generative Pulse report, which found that 96% of AI citations originate from PR-driven content. In this episode, I'm going to explain 4 themes: why AI relies on PR content, what content types it trusts the most, how this changes the rules of brand visibility, and lastly, and most importantly, the steps you can take to ensure your brand shows up in the modern era of generative AI. All right, let's start with the shift. AI search is not like traditional Google search. You type in a question, and instead of getting a list of blue links, you get an answer. And that answer is composed from sources AI systems are trained to trust. Here's the kicker. Those sources are not your ad or marketing copy. They're not your keyword stuff, search engine optimization blog post. They're not even your social media post. Instead, AI overwhelmingly cites 6 different types of content. If you're somewhere you can take notes, I recommend you do, especially if this is something you're responsible for, accountable for, or aspire to dominate for your organization. The first one is earned media coverage in reputable outlets. Second is analyst reports, industry analyst reports. Third is executive thought leadership, like quotes, op-eds, and bylines. Fourth is going to be news releases and newsroom content, especially when those press releases are distributed via credible, top-tier commercial newswires. Fifth is podcast show interview transcripts. Sixth is going to be trade publication stories and interviews. Folks, that's PR, plain and simple, all 6 of those things. So what you're seeing is that PR, public relations, has become the new front door to AI-powered discovery. And honestly, I'm here for it. I'm so excited about how the resurgence and demand and the relevance of PR and PR professionals and public relations agencies are now at the forefront of smart, savvy, digitally thinking corporations and organizations. Bottom line, if artificial intelligence doesn't see you, your customers, employees, and investors won't either. Now let's go deeper. What exactly does AI trust? First, earned media. When the Wall Street Journal, Fast Company, New York Times, or your leading industry publication writes about your brand, that's money. It's gold. AI systems know those outlets are credible, and they're not going to cover organizations that aren't visible or credible either. Number 2, thought leadership. When your executives provide data, insights, or commentary, whether that's through a bylined article or a quote in a journalist story, AI picks that up as authoritative. Third, credible news coverage and press releases. Not every press release gains traction, but when your release is distributed through a respected third-party newswire and picked up in online newsrooms, AI treats that as a trustworthy source. Now think about known household brands like GE, Coca-Cola, Google, Disney, Target, and others. They've built strong reputations by consistently putting out credible, newsworthy content. They're such large, well-known, and respected organizations. They have dedicated journalists called beat writers that will pick up news whenever they post it to a newswire. Now, for smaller businesses and organizations, you probably don't have a dedicated journalist standing by waiting for you to put something on a newswire. But don't worry, we've got other ways that you can raise your AI visibility. But basically, these dedicated journalists called beat writers pick it up. AI models cite it, and suddenly their brand visibility multiplies. So let me ask you, when AI answers questions in your industry or to your ideal buyer or target audience or buyer persona or avatar, is your brand being cited to them, or are they seeing information about your competitor? Now, if you want, take a moment, pause this episode, and start noodling around a little bit, typing in questions, typing in topics. And just like you would test back in the old days, how your keywords are coming up in phrases and search terms people are using in search engines for search engine optimization, take a few minutes and let's see how your GEO, generative engine optimization, is going for you. Now, whether or not you did that, that's fine. Welcome back if you did. If not, make a note to do this later if you're not already actively doing this. But let's expand beyond PR alone. Now, PR is the backbone of AI discovery, but it's not the only factor. Let's widen the lens. AI also pays attention to other credibility signals, and this is where holistic public relations strategies matter. For example, at Axia PR, we think in terms of news, social, and web content. News content is like media relations, news releases, earned media coverage, crisis communication management, thought leadership, speaking engagements, and award recognition. When we think about social, we're thinking about social media, but also user-generated content, including and not limited to reputation management, online reviews, social media presence, content, post engagement, community, as well as influencer engagement. The third bucket we think about is web content. This is your website, your blogging efforts, your on-page and off-page search and optimization, even leveraging newer and unique features we have at Axia, like our autocomplete search box optimization, where we're optimizing what the search box suggests on Google searches and other platforms, including YouTube. So when people start typing in the keywords, perhaps we can make it so your company name is suggested. This type of web content, digital authority, and branded podcast are a deeper way of thinking about digital storytelling and digital PR. Let's break these down a little bit. Online reviews. Reviews are part of the credibility ecosystem. Positive reviews on platforms like Google, Facebook, Yelp, Glassdoor, and others show up in search and can influence how AI perceives your brand. As a side note, Google has considered your organization's online reviews for years. It only makes sense for generative engine optimization, or GEO, to do the same. Website content and structure is next. AI crawlers love authoritative, well-structured websites. That means clear navigation, mobile-friendly design, content that's not fluff, but genuine expertise. And they also like it organized in proper data structure. And we can talk more about that on another episode. Social proof is next. You want consistent activity on social media and partnerships with influencers, because this also matters. It's not about vanity metrics. It's about being part of the public conversation. When you combined earned PR content with these supporting signals, you're feeding the generative AI tools the content it needs to cite your organization. Let me say that again. When you combined earned PR content with these supporting signals, you're feeding AI the content it needs to cite your organization. So what do you do with this information? What do leaders need to know next? Here are the steps I recommend. Step 1, audit your earned media footprint. Where have you been cited, quoted, or covered? Do a quick search in ChatGPT or Perplexity, Google Gemini, or some other platform. And I would recommend that you treat each of these as individual search engines, just like you have in the past. Whereas, perhaps ChatGPT or Google are the leaders in this space right now. But things can change quickly. When search engines first came out, it wasn't Google that was the leader at first. It wasn't Yahoo, but eventually it became Yahoo. And then later Yahoo got unseated by Google. Where The next thing you need to ask yourself is, what does AI say about your employer's brand today? If the answer is silence, that's your wake-up call. Step 2 would be develop quotable thought leadership. Make sure executives are providing insight that can be cited. This can include publishing bylined articles, commenting on industry trends, offering original data that the company has provided or sourced and can share with others. And of course, step 3, which I mentioned earlier, is securing coverage and trusted news outlet. Whether that's the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, or an industry trade publication like Franchise Times, Fun World, Insurance Journal, Becker's, CIO, or Builder Magazine, whatever it might be for your industry, invest in consistent media relations. That doesn't mean you do it one time and you're done. It means you have to do it consistently and ongoing. Just like search and optimization and social media, you don't do it once and say you're done. You have to continue to amplify, continue to engage, continue to improve. Step 4, optimize your press releases. News releases aren't dead. In fact, they may be becoming more important than ever because they feed AI systems when distributed through reputable news wires. Next, step 5, I would strengthen your reviews and reputation. I would monitor customer and employee reviews and actively work to improve them. You can't just have a whole bunch of reviews that are all positive, but they're from several months ago. You need to be seeking to get regular, fresh, positive reviews from both customers and employees. Personally, I would make sure that you're seeking reviews daily so that you can get new reviews weekly. AI doesn't ignore reviews, and neither will and do your future customers and investors and potential employees. Step 6, build a stronger web presence. Make your site a source of credible truth. Blog with substance, publish research, host press releases in your newsroom. Step 7, prepare for GEO. Just like search and optimization reshaped marketing 20 plus years ago, 20, 30 years ago, GEO, generative engine optimization, is reshaping PR and marketing today. It's not about ranking for keywords. It's about being relevant and retrievable when AI answers questions. All right, looking ahead, the future of PR is here. Some call it PR. We call it AI relations. We have a new productized service we're offering called AI Visibility, where we integrate all of these efforts into one service or solution. We call it AI relations. But either way, the point is the same. AI is shaping first impressions of your brand. It's just not how people perceive you from hearing about you from friends or seeing your physical location or doing a Google search for you and what your online reputation says. Instead, AI is shaping first impressions of your brand, and PR determines what AI learns and repeats back to them. Let me say that again. AI is shaping first impressions of your brand, and PR determines what AI learns and repeats back to them. If you want to lead in your industry or you want to have the best reputation for customers in the marketplace, you can't sit still and you can't sit back and wait for it to happen. You must feed AI platforms the content they crave. That's credible, quotable, and consistent PR-driven material. Because here's the truth. You don't need more content. You need to be cited, quoted, and trusted in all the right places. All right, quick recap here. 96% of AI citations come from PR-driven content. That's not from me. That's from Muckrack. They did millions of generative AI searches. They ran servers. We did a whole episode talking about the entire process that they went through. I'll be sure to link to that in the episode notes of this episode. AI trust earned media, thought leadership, press release, analyst reports, and interviews. PR has become the front door to artificial intelligence powered discovery. Again, PR has become the front door to AI powered discovery. And if you're not being cited, your competitors are. At Axia, we help brands strengthen their news, social, and web presence so they show up where it matters most. We've been doing this for 20 years, and it's now more important than ever. I'm extremely excited about this opportunity. I hope you are too. If you need a trusted advisor, we're here to help. If you want to learn more, I encourage you to visit axiapr.com/resources. You'll find helpful guides, insights, and tools to position your organization's brand for success in this new AI-driven era. Hey, thanks for joining me for this solo cast of On Top of PR. I'm Jason Mudd, helping you stay on top of PR. If you found this episode helpful, please be sure to share it with a trusted colleague who might benefit from tuning in. And remember, PR isn't just part of the marketing mix anymore. It's the backbone of your visibility in 2025, the age of AI. Thank you for listening.
This has been On Top of PR with Jason Mudd, presented by ReviewMaxer. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and check out past shows at ontopofpr.com.